Alright guys, welcome into another video. We're loading into the lovely Anubis. This is actually one of my favourite maps to showcase skins on at the minute. I think the lighting is beautiful and it is one of the best maps in the game right now. But that aside, today we're going to be taking a look at a $10 loadout, a full CS2 inventory for $10. You can see I've removed my Emerald Web gloves. We're going to be running with the default gloves so you get the best example possible for how it's going to look if you were to go and pick them up. Before we get started, have to remind you guys, we have the giveaway this month. It's for this knife you see on screen right now. All you have to do to enter this, to get this Bowie knife, the Bowie agenda is going strong. Now it's got left hand added to it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below with your favorite skin from today's video. Specifically, the $10 loadout. I don't want to see anything that we haven't showcased, and that's how you can enter. Good luck to those entering, and let's get into this. Now, over in the Glock, I'm actually going to suggest the Glock that I picked up initially myself when I started playing the game. It is going to be the Warhawk. Now, we can have some conversations about how green this is. It's definitely a deeper, a darker green, a bit more of a Warzone green, but it is still green. I actually think the design on it is pretty cool as well, considering you're paying 18 cents for it. Now, I've gone for the USP Cortex here. Absolutely perfect budget skin. Field tested this is. Still looks pretty sweet. It's $1.40. This is an amazing pick for a budget loadout. I actually think with the default gloves, I know these are default T gloves, it looks pretty sick, but I just love how good the pink on that white accent looks for the price. Now, for the P2000, I just went cheap with some interesting sort of sick artwork, and what we get for that is the Gnarled for 4 cents. Over the Deagle, another one that's the first one I picked up when building a loadout when I started playing like 2 years ago. Trigger Discipline Minware for $1.10 is incredibly good for this. Again, we got more pink, we got the blue accent. This is actually pretty sick for just over $1. Now, we are going to stick with the elite build for the AK, but I want to elevate it with the sticker craft this time. So it is going to be minimal wear again. If you were to pick up some RMR Hollows, specifically the VP, it's going to run you about $2.42 in total. Now, you don't necessarily have to go for the VP RMR Hollows. I would say any cheap orange stickers would do the job, even if it's paper. Even white stickers on top would look pretty good, to be honest. But paper, glitters, cheap hollows, anything like that that you can afford to put a 4x or 5 craft on it, I think it looks good and it's worth doing. Now, I am going to go for the flashback here for the M41S. I know there's a big conversation around the mud spec, and I do love it in Battle Scarred, but, I sort of change every time I do it. This time I'm going for the flashback. If you do want to have a mud spec though, then I think you can go get one in Battle Scarred for this price range. And this is an idea of how it's going to look, which is pretty cool. Now, I have changed back to the magnesium here, but I've gone to minimum wear in it, which 38 cents is super cheap. It's super nice. I showed the Edgelord on the $5 one, and I do really like it, but overall, I've got to give the edge to the magnesium. We are going to go for a black Nile this time as well, for certain. This is $1.10 for field tested, and I think is pretty sick for the price you're paying for it. I think last time you mentioned you can actually get a Battle Scarred Aetherius for not too much more, so you could consider that too, and I realised I haven't shown the alternative AK. Now, I've gone for a very Battle Scarred one, just to give you guys an example. It's a 0.72 float, but for $2.90, you can pick up a Battle Scarred Ice Cold. It's not for everyone, that's for sure, but if you don't want the elite build, at least I'm giving you another option. Now, over in the MP9, I decided to go for something a little bit different that I thought would get some sort of lighting effect. Now, it's not crazy, but it's a green skin. It is going to be the Bio League. I think it's just something a bit different. I normally go for like a featherweight here, which is super cheap, but I think, or I'm even a Modest Threat last time. Modest Threat could be in here. Honestly, there's so many cheap MP9s, you can kind of just go personal preference on it. I picked the Bio League this time. One from the Kilowatt collection that I absolutely love is the Light Box. I think 12 cents for this in minimal wear is sick. It is mostly black with the purple accents, but I think that looks really good. Over in the P250 side of things, we're going to have a Valence, which is 13 cents for minimal wear. And I think this is also pretty cool. We're upgraded from the cassette. You can still run with it if you want to. Really, it's like 7 cents, 6 cents cheaper. It is what it is. But I just thought we'd elevate it up a little bit. Provide you guys a different option. Now, the Tech 9 is a weapon you'll honestly find so many cheap options for. I've opted to go for the Fuse Bar this time. I think 5 cents for this in minimal wear is actually pretty cool. I like the magazine on it. It's slightly a bit different. Then we've also got that camo pattern with then the effect on the sort of end of the barrel. I think it's kind of cool. It's been a while since I've showcased this in a loadout. It's the ZX Spectrum. Field test of this is about 86 cents at the time of planning, which is the 8th of July. That's where the prices are from. If they change in the future, that's just how the market is. But this is pretty much a brightness skin, so it still looks flawless in field tested. The one that doesn't look flawless, but actually doesn't look too bad and well worn, is a Chromatic Aberration. I think if I showed you this skin and just told you it was field test, or honestly, even if I told you this was minimal wear, you might just think it's a skin that wears a little bit higher than usual. This is incredibly good for the price you're paying. $1 for well worn. I think this is a sick pickup. Now, the same day I was planning this, Lightning commented on the $5 video saying a flame test would be an option, and that's what I've gone for here. I do think it's kind of cool. It's almost like a glittery sort of effect that you see on top of it here, and I think overall for 6 cents, this in minimal wear is a very good pick. For my jewelers, I'm going to go for the Flora Carnivora. I am going to go field test it for them. I think this is a skin that does look pretty good in field tested. 31 cents for the minimal wear. I think value for money here is a big tick. Now, I've sort of taken into appreciation that for the SG and the AUG, maybe people aren't using them too much. So not as meta. People are buying AKs and M4s instead. So let's not spend too much for them in the $10 loadout. So I've gone for an aerial here for the SG. This for 11 cents in minimal wear is actually still quite a nice skin. It's this sort of like whitey beigey color with a nice bit of silver shine on it. It's a pretty good skin for the price. And then this is going to be my AUG of choice. Something just a little bit different. I like going for an amber slipstream sometimes, but this is the Trichia, whatever it's pronounced. 10 cents for this minimal wear. Just another good option for a good price. Now for the XM, I locked in on the black tie. There's just something about this, how it looks, the name. I think it's just pretty cool for a skin. It's 64 cents in minimal wear. You know, you're going to be holding those angles, absolutely bullshitting people with the XM, but looking sophisticated while you do so. We're on to the last two skins now. MP7 is going to be a Cirrus, which is 14 cents in minimal wear. This gets a nice little bit of shine for the price you're paying for it, and is just good if you decide to shift into a blue loadout, I guess. And then we end it off with another skin from the new Kilowatt collection. I say new Kilowatt collection. It's been out for a little while now, but it's going to be the Disaster for the Scout. I actually think this is super cool. Put some heroic or fierce papers on this, like for super cheap, and you're going to build yourself a pretty sick craft as well. And what this means is this total loadout costs you $10.81. So we're close to the $11 mark. We are over $10, but I don't think it's too bad. I think we can take that into consideration, and you guys could pick this up. Maybe you sacrifice one skin along the way that you don't use too much. I think overall, though, this is pretty good. The one, I say, I went through it. I told you some potential changes. Like, there's conversations to be had over the clock. Like, you could go Moonrise, you could go Winterrise, you could go Offroad. There's so many damn clock skins under $1, under half a dollar, that you consider. You can kind of go for every one. I think the only other one that I would really, out of the main skins, maybe have a conversation for is the Flashback. Maybe you go Mudspec instead. Outside of that, for $10 for a full CS2 inventory, this is looking pretty good. You guys can let me know your thoughts of it in the comments down below. I do like being able to showcase that we don't have to break the bank to be able to buy a CS2 loadout. And just for context, like, this loadout would be the same as opening, I think, even 4 cases of dollars. I was thinking £10 would be 5 cases. Actually, key cost and case cost. This is the same cost as opening 4 cases. So if you don't really have a loadout yet and you're still just opening the weekly cases, maybe just like don't spend that $2.50 on the key, sell the case, and in a few weeks time build this. I think it's worth it. So before I go, I just want to say a big thank you to the YouTube members that continue to support the channel. It is greatly appreciated. It's the best way to directly support me and the content I'm continuing to pump out for you guys. If you want to check it out, find out more about the perks for it, just have a look at the join button down below. It should be beside the subscribe button down below the video. It will give you all the information, and then you can decide if you want to join or not. But thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.